So just like when we were talking about a shortcut for limit, that you can use substitution, and sometimes substitution will work to get the answer to a limit. We also talked about how sometimes if you simplify the function and then substitute, sometimes that helps you to get the limit as well. There are also limit laws that help you to be able to get limits whenever you're stuck. The first one that says if you have a function next to a limit symbol, so you have limit as x approaches c of two functions being added, f of x plus g of x, you could always take the limit of each one individually, limit of f of x, limit of g of x, and then add the two of them together. The difference rule says the exact same thing, only instead of having a plus between the functions, you have a minus. The constant multiple rule says that if you have a limit as x approaches c of a constant times a function, you can pull the constant right out and then do the limit of just the f of x part. Product rule, if you have two functions being multiplied, you can do the limit of each one separately and then multiply the two answers together. The same goes for division. In the quotient rule, if you have two functions being divided, then you can find their limits individually and divide them. Power rule says pretty much the same thing. You could take the limit as x approaches c of f of x and then get that answer and raise it to the power. Root rule, if you have a square root or a cube root or fourth root of some function, you could do the same thing. You could just do the limit as x approaches c of the function f of x, get that answer, and then take the radical after. The sandwich theorem essentially says if you have a function f of x and it's between two other functions, g of x and h of x, in other words, I have something that looks like this. This would be my g of x. This would be my f of x. And this would be my h of x. So you can see that f of x is between g of x and h of x. So what this is saying is that basically if I can find the limit as x approaches c of g of x, and I can find the limit as x approaches c of h of x, then if those two are actually going to the same place, so in other words, if I had, let's say I wanted to look at this end. If it looks like they're all going to the same place, then the f of x must also go to the same place. So you can see h of x is going somewhere, g of x is going somewhere, and the f of x would go to the same place. They just call that the sandwich theorem.